So one of the things I did fairly recently was manage to boot up my old DSi from my childhood. This thing has definitely been on a stink kick lately, as it's barely functional, and I may need to get it repaired at some point, because my god, I don't know how I managed to put it in this state. But something I decided to do was play through some older DS titles I picked up. I managed to play Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on the DS, and yes, that exists, look it up, and played some Brain Age. Before anybody asks, I never owned Brain Age nor Nintendogs back when they were popping off. But there's one title that I've stated was one of my favorite games ever a while back, and that was Mario Kart DS. I'll tell you, back then, this was my first true gaming love. Many people will constantly look at Mario Kart Wii as the best in the series, and while I do enjoy myself some Mario Kart Wii from time to time, I honestly think Mario Kart DS still may be the best in my heart from this era. Don't get me wrong, I still play newer Mario Kart titles from here on out. I'll always do that. But there's something about Mario Kart DS that made me not only fall in love with Mario Kart, but fall in love with the Mario series in general, alongside New Super Mario Bros. DS. Playing through it honestly made me feel like a kid again, where I would play this title for hours, especially once I decided to use the forbidden technique known as snaking. That technique was present in older Mario Kart games too, but it was especially easier to do in DS. Unfortunately, it's not used anymore because ever since Mario Kart Wii, how drifting worked was changed so you can't manually perform a mini turbo from rocking a control stick or D-pad back and forth. It's done semi-automatically where you have to hold down how long you drift, and you get faster if you perform it by turning hard enough. But enough of that. This recent thing not only reminded me why I loved Mario Kart in the first place, but why I love gaming in general. And keep in mind, I still love video games, even newer titles. I've gone on the record to state that I really liked Mario Kart World, and I still do. But going back to when I made the most of the titles I had, it just feels like it's the kind of experience that sticks with you forever. It's hard to explain it to people who have no attachment to things you loved when you were younger, but some things I feel there will always be sentimental value, regardless of what others say. Now, granted, there are newer titles that have come out in recent years that will always be my all time favorites, but you always have a stronger connection with something when you experienced it as a kid. It's why some things I played back in the 2010s, I still have a strong attachment towards 10 years later. Now, before anybody says anything, do not take this as me saying I hate modern gaming, because I don't. There are aspects of modern gaming I will absolutely agree suck, but there are still great games being made, including ones I've yet to actually play. I'm just saying that there are things I grew up with that I'll forever cherish and hold close to me. I grew up playing Mario games, Sonic games. Hell, I grew up playing the original FNAF games and even Undertale. I was that kid. It does get harder to talk passionately about these things as time goes on. Except Undertale with Deltarune, considering how much I've been enjoying Deltarune. Seriously, go play those newer chapters if you haven't already, trust me. But I really feel that as we get older, it's harder to attach ourselves to newer things, even in a series we grew up with. I don't know how to explain it, but these older games I grew up playing and decided to replay, I'm reminded as to why. And it's just because there was always something there that pulled me in. For Mario Kart, it was not only the wacky nature of it, but it was also the fact that it was possible to get good at it, as well as the amazing tracks out there. For Mario itself, it was how easy and approachable it was, and the fact that, at first, I was really bad at platforming, but later, I became really good at platforming. With Sonic, it was the fast-paced action. At first, I sucked, but later, I became good. For FNAF, it was always stuff like the gameplay, the horror, and the implied underlying story, and the fact that it's deeper than it seemed. For Undertale, it was the writing, the characters, the bullet hell gameplay, and the music. That's how it was for me at the time for each of these things that I mentioned. I just wanted to make this little yap as recently I felt like I needed to disconnect from the internet as a lot of pretentious videos have come out on topics I care about in gaming. And I just needed to remind myself why I like these things in the first place. I'll still be playing video games, new and old, But I felt that in recent years, it felt hard to be positive about video games considering how negativity online in general has become the norm. And I just wanted to try and find myself. I still am trying to find myself in many ways, but I wanted to remind me in particular why I fell in love with these things, you know? I think that's what people should do. They should try and rediscover why they liked something in the first place if they can't articulate why they don't care about the newer thing compared to the old thing. I still don't agree with the mentality of old thing good, new thing bad, but I think if you are going with that subjective value judgment, you need to see why you think this way and what you liked out of something. That's how I see it. Anyway, see ya. Bye.